Right. So you're recording there, and it's just not set up. There's no point in setting up questions because there's only one real question. It's what the fuck you're doing in there. You know,
Right.
that's the bottom
See,
line.
the
Turn up.
right as it stands of today, the reason I am in here is because myself, Killian Rush, and Fintan Callan visited Master Dairies on the 25th of August, and we were entering the property via the junction premises. And the next thing, the guards appeared out of nowhere and arrested the three of us for trespass on 34 to 36 Park Street, Monaghan. I brought it to the guard's attention that the order in relation to me staying away from property to do with Seamus McEnany was incorrect, that it was Mr. McEnany on the order at the time. I also tried to make them realise that this was a civil matter now between myself and Seamus McEnany, and therefore they were outside their own jurisdiction. But as we know now, for the last 10 years, I have faced many obstacles to do with the Monaghan Gardaí as they tried to basically protect a corrupt circle of people involved in Seamus McEnany, Frank McEnany, Kieran Martin of Activate, Orla Martin of Activate, AIB Bank, Grant Thornton Receivers, various now members of the legal profession are also involved, and numerous Gardaí and their superiors. So that led to me being put into Cloverhill Prison on remand in relation to two trespass charges in Monaghan on the 26th of August, and I've been here since. Now, a quick update on that.
Yeah. Okay. Give us the court update. And what I want to say is the whole your whole battle really started with the illegal takeover of your business. And then it has gone on now to represent people up and down the country, some of whom I know. I'm not going to mention names, but some of who have been shafted by the elite, let's put it that way. And you have taken on this mantle of exposing corruption
Yes.
and
At
this.
a great personal expense.
Yeah.
But it was a battle that I could not leave unchallenged, because I had been lucky enough to make it to the top of the hospitality industry in our part of the country, and given the good times that the public had, I suppose, helped the Dairy family achieve, you couldn't turn around and turn your back on the truth, and the challenge had to be just take the bull by the horns and get to a point here now where the Gardaí and Monaghan are going to have to back down, because their actions have been illegal over the years. And as it stands now in court as of yesterday, again, if people want to go back to the previous podcasts that are now on Independent Minds 2 or the YouTube channel, they will find the information in relation to previous court appearances. But yesterday I was put on video link to the judge in Cloverhill, and a young barrister whom I don't know was there to represent me from Searle & Co. And I said, Your Honour, I told the judge, look, this is the way, at this stage I want discovery within a week, and if they don't have discovery, I want these charges dropped. So as of yesterday, I was told that the guards have until the 12th, I think, or the 13th, 14th to come up with discovery, and on the 18th of this month, I shall be back in front of that judge with the charges, with everything struck out, but the Gardaí have not come up with discovery in relation to what they did. They have previously been asked for discovery and have never handed over documentation that's in there that the many documents and emails and registered post, etc., that are in the Monaghan Garda station, Carrington Cross Garda station, and there's information also in Deer Street, Store Street Garda stations in Dublin.
Right. There's two co-accused. They're out. You're in there for you've been in there for 3 months.
Correct.
Right? The Mr. McAwareney has not is illegal really. It's not
Mr. McAwareney was in front of the CCJ in Court 7 last Friday, and the judge there has now said she wants to see the outcome of these of what's going on with these two.
that's the Monaghan one, yeah?
In Monaghan, because she knows that she has been told lies to ensure that I got convictions back during the summer, along with Paddy McAvoy and Raymond Moss, in relation to going into Foley's in the June of 22, when the Gardaí broke in and busted me up, busted the others up, and I was thrown in to Clover Hill at that point as well.
Right. My point, what the point that I can't figure out, there's no reason for you to be in there. You're in there, kept there illegally. That's what it's all pointing to that.
That's the bottom line at this stage. The Gardaí have created another fraudulent piece of paper to stop the truth from getting over the line.
Yeah, you know something that they don't want to know. They don't want you out there telling the truth. It's the bottom line.
It's not telling the truth. It's about now using the business model to help people take back properties that have been stolen in other parts of the country as well. I suppose one of the best examples would be Brenton Kildare and Donegal, Leonard Kenny, the builder, that had 35 million in assets, 1.8 million in debt, and all his portfolio was taken off him, including 12,000 taken out of his office at the time. Look, there's many other examples, but that's just one that springs to mind. And he's on the Fairfield Dairy Facebook page previously in relation to that matter.
Right, give me the figure. You were throwing at your pub. Give me the figure that the Four Seasons and them got, the millions that that gang around that area got around that time.
Sorry, give me the figure.
That the Four Seasons, they were bailed out, including Mr. Mac.
Basically, you had a situation where the Four Seasons had got involved in the building of the hotel in Carlingford, and there was somewhere in the region of 13 million of debt coming out of the boom, and as far as I'm aware, there's 6 or 7, 8 million of that debt had disappeared. You had the McInerney's who came out of the boom with, it's well known, they came out of the boom with 30, 40 million of debt. The majority of that debt disappeared because of connections, the old Circle, the GAA and the corporate boxes in Crow Park, and political connections and all the rest of it. Porrick Waters, another man who had multiple millions written off, he come out of the boom with somewhere like 50 million of debt, and a lot of that debt has disappeared. None of these people could have survived unless their debts were all written off, whereas in our case we had 5 million of debt and had reached 500,000 of 450,000, 500,000 of sustainable profits in the worst time in Ireland back in 2010, 11, 12, and we found ourselves on the street just to protect especially the Four Seasons and the West Henry Arms in Monaghan, owned by Frank and Seamus McInerney at the time, plus the intellectual property that was stolen off the dairies was used as shifting with hairs in the West Henry.
Right. I emailed and sent a WhatsApp to your solicitor to let her know, and then you give me instructions. Just give us the outcome on that there. Was there anybody appeared?
The outcome on that there was that I spoke for myself in court yesterday. I told the judge that I wanted disclosure within a week, and I wanted this put to bed before and that's when he said he'd give them a week or 10 days to come up with disclosure, and he's marking it pre-emptory, and if they don't come up with with the evidence. The whole thing will be struck out on the 18th, where the 18th of December, as far as I'm aware. So then Mehdi arrived up to the jail here yesterday evening with paperwork in relation to High Court bail. I said, Mehdi, look, that ship has sailed. That instruction was given to you back in October, to get out to maybe do some canvassing in relation to the election, etc., etc. So there's no point in going down the High Court bail avenue now. I updated her on what the judge had said earlier in Clover Hill Court, but
she wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
Right.
As far as I'm aware now, Mehdi has gone to look for freedom of information from the Monaghan Gardaí, the Carrickmacross Gardaí, and the Dublin Gardaí. She's also gone to do a freedom of information to do with SSE Electricity and Kieran Moran, and the fact that my name was on the bill for over through 20 and into 21 and possibly into the start of 22, and there was at no point did I refuse to give SSE Electricity money. That they were looking at this, that there was a mess going on between myself and Kieran Moran of Active 8, and they were sort of putting them. They were moving. They were sitting in the sideline, seeing what was going to happen next. So,
right, there's what I call it's a civil dispute going on there. Number one, and it's in and out and back and forward. They change from civil to criminal, to etc., etc., etc. Have you got a claim? You're there illegally, from what I can see. You're in there illegally.
Well, sure. The first thing I want to do is get out of here.
I know, yeah.
What I would like to happen now is that someone would ring the Monaghan Gardaí from a journalistic perspective and ask them for a comment on the videos that are on the Independent Minds 2 YouTube channel, because Adrian Dorgan has acted highly disingenuously here, and Sergeant Stephen Kelly back in the day, Inspector Noel Cunningham back in the day, and now you have the guard Gary Cawley carrying out illegal. How you put it? He's now. He's now the latest one with his name on paperwork that's absolutely illegal. And Gary Cawley drove me to Mountjoy Jail on the 2nd of December 2020, and he signed paperwork. He signed a High Court order to say it was a warrant. He had no legal right to sign a High Court order from Justice Leon Reynolds to say it was a warrant, which saw me put into Mountjoy, where I was held for 115 days illegally. And then they had to let me go because I shouldn't have been there in the first place. This whole thing is so sadistic. It's unbelievable that such things can happen in our little country, whilst the circle laugh and joke, and the fact that Michael Martin and Simon Harris are held in high regard by so many people is absolutely funny.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. It's very funny at this stage from my perspective, given the amount of information that they have to hand on the subject, including the 5-page letter which was written by myself to Simon Harris from Clover Hill, to which the transparency team wrote back that there was nothing they can do. So there's no transparency with Simon Harris, who was the Justice Minister at the time, and his team. It's just an absolute fraud, and if people could get sight of that letter, someone should put that letter in front of Simon Harris or give it to a politician to ask them for a comment on it. People just need to put it together now, and I'd like to get out the other side of this before Christmas.
Right. Just fairly. No, that's a different one. But what I call it, I put up or somebody put up the letter to what I call Lauren Hardy, not Harris, later on that website. And yeah, I've seen some of the stuff there. I have files there. some of the files there that you can see, uh,
Yeah.
and there's more here, this side, uh, plus what's online. So we'll try and put up the Simon Harris letter uh, later on. But the bottom line is, from what I can see, you're trying to shine a light on the overall corruption in the country.
Correct.
And you're been held there illegally, from what I can see. Like, there's no reason that two co-accused can be out, and you're there.
You can't be traced. At the end of the day, the Gardaí should have acted they should have acted in 2015 when I first met Adrian Dorkin as a sergeant at Master Dairies. I made a criminal complaint in relation with fraud, etc. And the fact we've been illegally evicted, not in the fault, the intellectual property stolen, etc., etc., the bogus sales process. And then 2 hours later he came back to me and told me it was a civil matter. And then as soon as I had the upper hand at the civil courts and did my 28 days, just like Sean Quinn did his 90, the next thing they turned it all into a criminal matter, just to suit the Bandy and Sheriff Canadian, the Bandy and his brother Frank and the others at the time, because I was on my own. And had I acted with other parties at the time, the last 10 years of my life would have been a different experience. But however, I can't turn back the clock of time. All I can do now is, please God, look forward to getting out of here before Christmas with the help of a few good souls, pushing at the other side of the fence here, and so that we can move on, we can start and move a group that a force can come out of a force can now come out for the greater good out of all this pain and torture.
Yeah, well, as you seen, whenever I was talking to you about the elections and the nomination, etc., etc., everybody was full of talk. There was there was only one good woman. We won't mention her name. One good woman that put her head above the parapet.
Well, sure.
That, you know.
Those people will now. Those are the type of people now that you want to form a nationwide force, so that they're seen to work together long before an election. That independents aren't just popping up before an election. That there's many business. There's plenty of angles here to highlight the good people in every county as we move forward, using corporate entities that people build trust in. You know.
Yeah, I think we need we need groups of people right around the country involved.
Again, you need groups and you need buildings. 15 Usher's Key is the first of many buildings that can be acquired around the country, because a lot of stuff was taken fraudulently in the first place and used and partly used as basis for groups to meet and have to raise awareness in time for the next election.
Right, you've 30 seconds or 25, 30 seconds. Is Mary getting back to you, or what's the story there, very quickly?
I've left it with Mary that that you're the main point of contact. So you can give her a call. You can send her on this video. I've made her aware of the Independent Minds 2 YouTube channel, and she's going to do those freedom of informations in relation to the Guards and the SSE, and she was also writing to the Guards in relation to the disclosure that we wanted as far back as June the 23rd, 2015, when I made my first statement to Sergeant Adrian Dorkin.
Okay, we'll leave it there, Fergal. I'll talk to you later. You're going to be cut off there now, so I'll talk to you later, and I'll post this up, okay?
100%. All right. God bless you.
God bless you too. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.